Forget about everything you've heard about starting a business online. If I had to start from zero, here's what I would do differently. Hey, everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lysandra, and on this channel, I talk about all of my struggles within being an entrepreneur or a solopreneur. And then I also give you tips and tricks so you don't make the same mistake. So if that's something that you're interested in, then please be sure to keep watching and subscribe to this channel. So I've been in business for a very long time. I've started businesses, some have worked, some have not. The two most successful that I've had, or the three most, no, yeah, three most successful that I've had was my commercial cleaning business. I did extremely well. And then my last business is like right in the middle, kind of, sort of, but digital products have been the best for me. So if I would have known certain things that I know like today or had access to certain tools, I feel like I would have been further along and my business would look different as far as the structure of it. And then also the financial aspect of it, it would truly be different. But I'm going to tell you some things that I'm seeing now that I wish I would have known like 2 years ago, 5 years ago, things like that. And I'm quite sure it can help somebody. So I'm going to tell you what those things are. So I have tried, like, I think one of the worst things I have done was a Shopify store. And that's not to like say anything about people who have Shopify stores. But for me, those things didn't work. Like product based businesses, I could not make work. And it's probably because I didn't have enough clarity. Like I tried makeup, skincare, because I was in that space, t shirts, things that like print on demand, things like that. And it just could not work for me. So, and a lot of that was because I had shiny object syndrome. So when I see something, I'd be like, okay, maybe this will work, maybe this will work. So a lot of it had to do with me. But the one thing I wish I would have done is kind of figured out what my passion was and stuck to one offer. Because there's something that people do. It's called the power of ones or the power of five. I think it's the power of ones where you pretty much, and I probably got the name wrong, but I heard somebody else say it, so there it was. But what it pretty much means is you sticking with one thing, whether the one thing being one offer, one stream of income, or whatever it is, you stick to one thing, perfect that, and then that you will see more success when you do things that way. And for me, I did not do that. So I think that's the first thing I would have done. I would have gotten clear on who I wanted to speak to, what their pain point was, how I wanted to help them to get a transformation. I would have stuck with that. And I'm almost certain I would have seen success quicker if I would have done that. So that's the first thing. Let's see. The second thing I probably would have done would have been not so, I don't know if fascinated is the word I want to use for it, but some of these things that you see, like what you can do as far as making money online, how quick, things like that. A lot of that is false. Like it literally is. Like, because I have spent even working a regular job, still building my business. And I can say the physical part of it, I probably would no longer even look at or consider like a business that where it was me physically doing it. That's why I'm transitioning out of my lash studio to offer more virtual services and digital products. And then I probably wouldn't pick a product. Like a product is hard to do. Like, and for other people, it's probably not, but for me, it was just like really hard to get a handle on that. So I definitely wouldn't pick that. So I wouldn't do a physical business because when you do physical, sometimes you have literally bought yourself another job, depending on what it is and how you structure it. and then two, a physical product. So I definitely would not have even looked at those, like knowing what I know right now. But that was an experience probably that I needed to go through so I could learn it, so I could know, yeah, you can't do that. You need to stay away from that part of it, having that experience with that. So I definitely wouldn't do those anymore. So the one thing I would say that shifted for me within my business, like I knew like last year kind of that I was going to eventually shift from doing physical one-to-one services because and anybody in the beauty space or in a space where they're doing service-based businesses will tell you, like, you can only do those for so long. Like, you literally can because it wears a lot on your body, things like that. So I knew last year was going to be transitioning out from seeing clients doing physical work of doing lashes, things like that. And then once I knew that, then I said, okay, I need to get clear. I need to figure out what my skills are and what my next move is. So I decided to, like I said, I went back to school. I started to use different AI tools, and that helped me to get more clarity. And I think the biggest shift was the job that I'm in. Like you'll hear me talk about this job. I'm using the money from this job to help fund my business because I knew day two after working it, no, 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 no. So that was the biggest shift I had. Like, that was the biggest, and the next shift was the decline in clients coming into my studio, but I still was making money from a lash course that I put out, or digital products I put out. I was like, "Girl, you doing the wrong thing." Like, you literally are. So, I made peace with it, and now I'm transitioning to go like, I'm doing certain things in my lash studio that will make it easier when I leave. Who knows? I may keep it, but, like, I don't know if I wanna hire people either because that's a totally different beast. But right now, my biggest shift was working this job, knowing that I didn't wanna stay there and knowing that my digital products do better than anything I could physically get up and do. Now, when I think about some of the key things, in addition to the ones I just said, but there are really, I think, three main things that I would totally focus on now that I didn't do before and I wish I would have done. And if you see me looking at my notes, I had to get my notes because I wanted to make sure I told you and I was able to tell you exactly how I'm feeling right now and how I wish things would have been different, but they aren't. But here I am. So the first thing is I would pick one problem, one audience, and one platform. So let me say that again. I would pick one problem, one audience, and one platform. So I have shiny object syndrome. I know I have it, and now I'm more aware of it. So I try to stay away from it, probably because I'm more aware of it right now. But before I did not do that. Like I was trying to do Pinterest. I was trying to do YouTube. I was trying to do Instagram, TikTok, everything out there that I thought would get the traffic and the eyes on me so they would book an appointment, make a purchase, buy a digital product, whatever it is. But that was a fault. And now that I have all these platforms and I'm on it and I have traction to them kinda. It's still not enough eyes with the exception of maybe TikTok and YouTube, and then it'd probably be Instagram, but, like, I probably would focus on one. Now, I do a lot of repurposing my content, so that is working, but I think if I would had to start over, I would focus on one, build that, and then move to the next one. But now my structure is, okay, when you have all these platforms, you're in all these different kind of places, you need to make sure the messaging is right, and then you have to repurpose. But once again, that goes back to the power of one. And once again, I know I'm saying it wrong, but if you focus on one problem, one audience, and one platform, feel like I would be ahead, further, quicker. So that's one thing. Let's see. The second thing I would do, according to my nice little list here, would be build a content system before trying to sell. So you can absolutely make or get eyes to your content from like social media, but you have to have a plan. Like before, I was doing like content, but it wasn't the right messaging. So now I'm getting better about my messaging. But building a content system, know for a fact, would have helped me better as far as the traffic, the monetization, and getting people within my ecosystem or my funnel to help them help them to get a transformation and then also to monetize it. I did not do that. Like I did that, but I did it wrong. So because I have that content system in place and then I have the automation on how to bring in the sales. So I physically am not doing a lot besides delivering more value each day to help others. Like that is something that I wish I had done before. But, knowing is half the battle. So now that I know better, I definitely would not do that again. And I'm glad that I know that part of it now to build my content system, have a messaging in place, and pick one problem, one transformation I can help with. And now I'm starting to see success. Now, the third thing that I have on my list is I would use AI to scale what's working, but not shortcut my foundation. So, what I mean by that, like, I have certain videos or reels that do well, and I probably could have monetized better or did a better job about delivering the value to help people with the transformation quicker, but I didn't. So I dropped the ball. So now I'm using AI to help me figure out, okay, in 30 days, look at your analytics. And then this reel worked, this concept worked. Let's do more of that. Before I wasn't doing that. And that's why I was all over the place. So I wasn't reaching the right people with the right messaging. But now I have that in place. Like I use AI to the point where it helps me to think better about what I want to put out, what I'm trying to do. And a lot of that has to do with me knowing how to prompt correctly, me knowing what questions to ask. And like I said, when you know the prompting, AI will continuously to ask you things to help you to refine it and help you get more clarity and more structure. So, if I would have done better about using AI, and a couple of years ago, it wasn't available, or maybe it wasn't, I just didn't know it. But now that it's more here, I would definitely use it to find out what's working so I can repeat more of that. The first 30 days of a business is critical. I don't think I know for a fact did not do like the right things. Like I started my lash business because I do have a physical lash studio space. Started that space during the pandemic and I thought I was prepared, but I was not. So because I didn't have the right like 30-day roadmap of what I should be doing, my messaging to make sure I got the right clients, did not. And I know for a fact that's why I'm in the position that I'm in with the physical part of my lash studio, but the digital part of it is going great and it still is. And because of that, when I did my digital products, like I had a set, like for the modules, things I created, I had to write them out. I had to manually do that. So that's why I saw more success with that. But for my physical studio, like at that particular time, and it's still around, like I was doing things like Groupon. Groupon is a strategy and you have to know what you're doing because it's, long story short, it's like where people come in, they purchase a service or a product for extremely cheap, but you have to upsell them or you have to get them in your ecosystem or in your funnel. So you're like marketing to them directly outside of Groupon. I had that, but I didn't have it right. So I was in a place where it just like I'm thankful for the clients that still support me, but a large influx of it was people who wanted deals. And I don't care what anybody says, you cannot rely on deal seekers, like because you have to have deal seekers at volume. And that is not something that I wanted to do. So that was my fault. I suffered. I shed many tears behind it, but I kept going and I keep going. And I'm thankful for the ones that were not like extreme deal seekers and they pay my regular price. But still, the digital product side of it does well because that took more planning. And I put more time and effort, like filming the video, scripting it, doing everything, making sure the angles were right. Like it just does. And I just have to update it, but it pays me and I don't have to do any work. And I want to speak to this. Like I just learned this from watching Warren Buffett. I will admit, have been a member of wage slavery for a long time. And to a certain degree, I still am. But one thing I learned from him and just other people, if you if you making money and your livelihood is dependent on your time, you will fail. Like you will fail. I don't care how much money you make, you will fail. If it's depending on your time, you giving your time and getting up to do the services. This is why I have said no more, like no more. I have a digital product and it's proven I can make money with that. I can make money with content that I put out, like for this YouTube. People will see it. People will see it years and years. And I have things that are in place to help me to monetize it years and years down the line. So if nothing else, the one thing I know, if I would have known back then that I know now, do not tie money to my time because it's a losing battle. It literally is. It literally is. So there's that. So if you're in a place where you are either have started a business, trying to figure it out, whatever, a 30-day roadmap will help you. And once again, use AI to help you do that. Prompt it. When you're in that prompt box, if you're not familiar with it, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of videos on YouTube to tell you how to prompt. Go Google it, look it up. But when you prompt it and you put it in, it can help you to get clarity and do that 30-day roadmap because I didn't have that. I was stuck in a crazy place with clients and man, clients wanted me to do lashes for cheaper than $50. And it was just like crazy town. But that 30-day roadmap will save you. And you're going to have to tweak it. But when you have a 30-day roadmap, you can go back and see what worked in the 30 days, what you need to tweak or what you need to continue doing more of. So I cannot stress enough, a 30-day roadmap is super, super important. Now, I have these little stats, and I don't know why I keep not doing these stats in the beginning, but here's a stat for you. So most successful solopreneurs took 6 to 18 months to see maybe not the full-blown success, but success at a level where they can just be comfortable and look to the next step. 6 to 18 months. Now, I'm going to be realistic. That works when you have step 1, a problem, an audience, and a platform. Step 3, you're building a content system before you start selling, before you start monetizing. And step 3, you use AI to scale what's working. Then this stat of most successful solopreneurs take 6 to 18 months will apply to you. Me, it did not. I did it all the way around backwards. And now that I'm full circle, I know what works, what doesn't, where I'm going to be getting out of. So now I'm in that, but I'll be honest, mine took 5+ years, but yours does not have to. It doesn't have to. It really doesn't. And that's why I'm here to share what I'm learning. So it doesn't take you 5+ years like it did me. It only takes you like 6, 18 months. Well, that is it. I think we covered a lot today. But if you like this video, if it resonated with you, please be sure to like the video and also subscribe to this channel. And then also, if you think this content would resonate with anyone else, please be sure to share it. And then also leave a comment. Comment below what was your one takeaway from this video, because you're trying to start a video, what resonated with you, so you can see my mistake or you saw my mistake and you know what you're not going to do. Comment below what that is. And with that, until next time, have a great day and I'll see you soon. Bye.